Dual Sight has been a map that some people have really loved, especially Zergs, but some Zergs hate it completely. And it's interesting because Korean players actually choose Dual Sight against Zergs so many times. Kind of interesting, right?
Yeah. Hero will not necessarily choose it, but I know Hero is really good on Dual Sight despite it being a tough map to forge fast expand on.
Yeah. I think in the NASL, I've seen 3 or 4 times where non-Zerg players against the Zerg choose this map. And that's pretty surprising in my opinion. A lot of people say Dual Sight is such a great map for Zerg because of the ability to do a lot of damage against any fast expanding player, just because of the open natural. And not only that, the counterattacking options are numerous. I can go any way and which way because the map is pretty much a huge flat piece of land with a little bit of terrain here and there.
Yeah, Dual Sight has a couple of ramps scattered throughout, but for the most part, other than the ramps leading to the general main area, there's not many high grounds you can take advantage other than main to the natural and natural to the third. We see that Dual Sight has a lot of avenues for attack. That's what makes it a little bit difficult sometimes for Protoss just to charge down the center, which they normally love. Shakur's Plateau is fantastic for something very typical of what Puzzle likes to do. But with lots of avenues for counterattacking, especially when we saw players like TLO love Zerglings and CVP and counterattacking, gives lots of uncomfortability. That's a word? Discomfort. Oh my goodness, uncomfortability. This is like when I said strategical earlier today.
It's strategic,
it's
right?
Discomfort for Protoss, but yet we see a Forge Fast expand anyways from Puzzle.
And a lot of players will actually go for a Speedling opening on this map.
Yeah, we saw that earlier, right?
Yeah, Speedling is pretty good just because it defends against a lot of gateway openings. Gateway openings are normally very powerful on this map. We saw Hero have a lot of success by doing a 10 gate against his opponent and just doing whatever he wants. That goat. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, I mean, we saw that also when ooh, that goat. Yeah, these guys are talking about the goats. Actually, it's not even a clickable unit. Oh my goodness. Wow. Is that
I think Speedling overall is pretty good because normally you don't go Speedling in PvZ because they just wall off and they're good to go. Well, Dual Sight is a map where it's pretty hard to wall off, so I think in general, Speedling openings are pretty profitable, and it gets you and secures you your expansion pretty efficiently against the large array that Protoss could potentially do.
First 6 Zerglings are out onto the map, not necessarily to feast on wild animals like goats, which makes sense, by the way, that it's on the green side. It wants to, you know, get some nutrition as grass is good. Oh, this is definitely not good for Puzzle. 4 Zerglings are now inside the base, and not necessarily that you know, it's GG, just that Protoss will fall very, very far behind because they can't reveal anything, or they can't build anything without revealing it directly to the Zerglings, and they're never going to have a moment's peace of mining.
Not only that, a lot of probes are being killed here. Good micro overall. Let's check it out. 2 probes. Okay, not a lot. But they still have free reign over a lot of these units. Ooh, he almost picks off another probe, but these Zerglings are running for their dear lives. Oh wow, going through the probe line.
Yeah, and I mean, the whole idea is he's wasting a lot of mine time as well. Now, Sheth is making a lot more Zerglings, and we saw this earlier throughout the week where, you know, Protoss was not able to hold it off just because there's just way too many Zerglings coming in at one point. And yeah, the Zerglings still just being a nuisance. Very good job here from Sheth, and constantly move around. And Puzzle, he's looking very vulnerable right now.
And now he's actually interfering with the gas count. That is pretty critical. I like what Sheth is doing here. Every little bit counts, especially when it comes down to sentries. Kills another 2 probes. Yeah. But his Zergling goes down.
Think about it, yeah. That's a good way to consider how much you're harassing Protoss by preventing gas from harvesting. Those probes are not able to really get the gas count you need to get your early sentries to be safe on Dual Sight. We see that the Stalker is being chrono boosted immediately, and you know, you see that Sheth just has 3 hatcheries pretty easily. He did get harassed a little bit back at the natural. I believe one did get chrono boosted, but still, for the most part, Sheth's been very good this game thus far.
Yeah, I like his activity. Now the Stalker is out, obviously is able to stop any of the Zergling shenanigans inside of his base. From this, we do have double extractor trig. Double extractor is coming out for Sheth. and he's just droning up from here. And this is correct. I think after the damage he's done, delaying his opponent gas, delaying his opponent the ability to attack, he can pretty much say, I'm safe. I can go and drone up for quite a long time. He needs to be careful now because it looks like Void Rays are imminent.
Oh yeah, last time Puzzle was on this map, he chose the 2 Void Rays with the sentries and force fielded the ramp and was able to do a lot of damage in the main. But he's so far away from being able to do that because, again, of how long it took to get rid of those Zerglings from the base. You can tell that just how far delayed he's back. You can see it's 8 minutes in the game. Normally, you would have your Starcade been done already. The first Void Ray will be almost out. And you can see that he's almost a full production cycle behind as a result. And
not only that, Sheth punished his opponent for chasing for so long. Stalker was chasing the Zerglings for that period of time. And Sheth said, oh, free scout, thank you very much. And he went in with the Overlord. That's a perfect time to do that. He sees everything that's coming here. Void Ray is inbound, and he saw it's chrono boosted. Well, of course it's going to be chrono boosted, but where does he go from here? Frodan, what are the main options when you're playing ZVP?
For Puzzle?
For Zerg.
Oh, for Zerg. Well, you see that Sheth is going for Zergling speed. Now it's a little bit more safe. He does have this Roach Warren and the Evo Chamber, so he has an ability to pump out a lot of units. Now the big thing on Dual Sight is that Protoss, it's a little bit hard for them to secure a 3rd expansion, especially when there's just a lot of avenues for attack. There's 3 routes to that 3rd base, and if you go for a huge amount of style, like you go Mass Roach, it can do a lot of damage and prevent it. And if Protoss can't ever get their 3rd, Zerg's not that uncomfortable.
I think
especially. Oh, sorry, what?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, especially if they open Void Ray, because it delays the base push even further.
I think there are a couple ways to go about defending against this. There are counter-attacking options that you can do and go for base trades and just rely on your roaches just being so plentiful and queens and production taking out your opponent. But I think I like the best route, in my opinion, is to go for upgrades. Oh. There are pretty key upgrades to get to eliminate this build from doing any sort of damage. One thing is going to be Burrow. Burrow is probably one of the strongest things in the Zerg arsenal when they're not going robotics tech. And it just enables roaches to stay alive. You're able to micro a lot more efficiently and make the ground do virtually nothing. Now, let's check if Sheth knows this is incoming.
No, he doesn't. He unleashed 14 drones and then 9 more drones. And Sheth's going to be up. He's droning even more. He's got 3 Zerglings against this force here from Puzzle. And Sheth, if you gave him another minute and a half, he would be able to defend, but Sheth knows he overdroned at this point.
Oh my god.
And he's going to immediately evacuate.
Drones?
Yeah.
83 drones, and now finally roaches are inbound.
Yeah.
He has a macro hatchery, which will help out a little bit, but even that is not enough. He needs to think about getting another 3rd immediately because he's heavily oversaturated in his natural. 82 drones. You have right there 22 drones that are doing absolutely zero. Well, nothing.
Yeah, they're not harvesting. It's past his limits. And will Puzzle be able to do this? This hatchery is actually going to work as a pseudo force field and allow him to be able to trap some of the units. Now, Puzzle did end up losing one of his Void Rays. The second one does survive and is doing a huge amount of damage. Puzzle still has plentiful force fields left if he wants to do it. No, one of the sentries does get picked off, and that's a very big thing to consider. As after this, he's out of force fields. Can Sheth hold on? The drones are being pulled to fight, and there are a lot of drones trying to see if he can go for a surround. But Sheth, his units are running pretty low here.
Oh my god, and Sheth might be able to actually force this back with sheer amount of drones. But now finally here it is. Zealots are the key thing to actually defend against this. So nicely done. It looks like Void Rays are still going to town, but the Queens do pick off one of them. Yes. Roaches are forced back. If he actually takes out that one hatchery, that'll be critical. Overlord's now just getting mutilated. The supply count going to Puzzle. And my god, I think Puzzle will take it right here as the concave is just too extreme. There's no units out on the field or very little, and now the macro hatch goes...
Stays alive for 1 more minute, but we see that Puzzle at this point, he doesn't really have to do much other than take position. You can see that his Stalkers are kiting in a very systematic formation. Sheth, every roach that comes out at this point is irrelevant just because he can't confront this army directly, and roaches are only good at direct confrontation. And you can see that Sheth is supply blocked. He's out of options to really inject. No real economy other than his main. And with that, I mean, Puzzle even had that +1 advantage, and you can see that Sheth has +1 melee, and that's not going to do anything for roaches.
Nope. And now finally, patented Sheth play. He is going to go ahead and finish it out here.
GG.
GG's.
GG.
There you have
Good
it.
game.
Puzzle takes
Good
it
game.
2-0, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So Puzzle with a very quick 2-0 over Sheth after 2 strong 2 base pushes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's nothing more to that. I mean,
He
we
just
can all
droned
clearly
way
see
too
droned
much.
too much. Yeah.
Oh,
when you're up
man.
to 83 drones.
I'm thinking of Tempo's song, "Don't Let Me Get 80 Drones." Well, in this case, Puzzle's like, "Oh, I'll let you get 80 drones
Yeah.
and 3
Please
Zerglings."
go 80 drones because I'm doing a 2-base all in.
It was yeah, it's
even
tough.
okay, so this is I think where Sheth was. He didn't actually think his opponent was capable of that, seeing as the Zerglings were in his base for so long. He delayed a lot of tech.
Yeah.
He spotted the Void Rays. He just said, okay, you don't have the ability to change that fast. So he droned up a little bit too much, a lot too much. Now, 80 drones, 83 drones, it's perfect, actually. Actually, going up to 90 drones is actually perfect. That is when you're maximum saturated. You can't get any more drones unless you want them to do absolutely nothing. Or build stuff. I guess they can build stuff. But still, Sheth over-droned. He missed a critical timing where he needs to be making units because he just did not have enough stuff. There was no way he could have enough stuff at that point. Just a clear, clear game.
Yeah.
There's nothing more to that.
Sheth looking a little bit more like Rhett in terms of his droning patterns. Rhett, very notorious for if he ever dies, it's often because he was playing just a little bit too greedy. That game and series was brought to you by Epson, the people who are lining up the projectors. If you see an Epson guy through CR Barcraft, tell them thank you for sponsoring NASL Season 3, as well as the rest of our sponsors. Tweet at them, email them. That goes a much longer way than you think.